We love them. I do.
Any more gravy crap? Is it called gravy?
There's some that you can put on your if you want.
Yeah.
Sauce or whatever.
Yeah, if you want gravy, there's that. Where are you sitting, Tasha? Oh, right there.
House coat.
Yours and mine.
You're on the right.
Should be on your right. So that must be yours.
I'm not a traditional.
You don't know the Canadian ways of the.
I don't know the American ways.
Is there
I'm sure
ways?
it's the same. I'm sure the Americans got it from the British. And, so.
Sure.
Let's see. Oh, I know. I'm missing something here.
What?
Jello.
Oh.
Don't forget the what you would call it?
Right, with cream. Thank you.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've actually had a meal.
Okay. Later.
Yeah, it wasn't while you were going to school, come to think about it. But when we were going to school, Grandpa was taking MBA and then also an assistantship. So he was gone most of the time. And we had 5 kids, and then we had foster kids, well, especially Joseph. We had him for 6 months. And then I babysat a couple of kids. And oh my goodness. When
Kids everywhere.
Just read those things and I'm like, it was a
That was then and this is now.
miracle. We got through it.
Made you who you are now.
Pardon?
It made you who you are now, right? Like you went through all of the trial. I made it through. I swear. Yeah.
Yep, I guess. No, that is true. You go through all kinds of things and it makes you strong.
You're like, is that how it works?
You don't believe it when
'Cause-
you're
especially right when you're in the thick of things, it's like, how am I gonna be good after this? Or like, how is that gonna work?
like going through math class, eh?
Math class. It gets me every.
I don't know why then, but we, that was the place to go because it was a righteous place. I guess, probably, I don't know.
It was the church approved
Yeah,
education or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess.
Church sponsored.
Whether well, there wasn't even U of L then because I went to the first year of University of Lethbridge, but U of A was fairly, what's the word, godless in the sense, and so I think that's why. I don't know. Did you grow up thinking that you should go to BYU or would go to BYU?
I don't think I ever thought I'd go to BYU, but for some reason we did.
I always assumed that I
Because I
probably
had a
would.
year and a half at Lethbridge.
Well, that's true. I did go there. Anyway.
But we went there because they had a program that I wanted. I could have gone to U of A and done the same thing. In the
Your first year in-
Animal science.
Oh, yeah.
Animal science?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Grandpa wanted to be a farmer,
But just the way that sounded, just animal science, like it has its own category.
What kind of classes do you take for animal science?
Nutrition, genetics, some economics classes for management. And of course, we had to take statistics.
But you still have to take statistics, pretty much.
Yeah, and then just all kinds of courses related to animal, either the genetics or
Yeah, the farming
Nutrition.
industry.
I really liked it. I enjoyed it.
They went out and chased buffalo.
Yeah, we did.
What?
We had to go out and do some stuff with a rancher down there. Had some buffalo that he wanted tested, and
Your professor was a vet, wasn't he?
he was, yeah. And so we went out there, and that was part of our course. That was great. Except you had a corral that was really strong, and so they had they had a tractor with a front end loader on it, and they had a big. They tip it down like that, and they had a big plywood panel on it. And then if you wanted to get the buffalo into the chute so you could work with them, you just drove the tractor and headed him in with the tractor. And then they had a squeeze, the thing that catches them so you can work with them. But these buffalo would come in there, it's like trying to catch a carrot where the big part is here and then there's nothing after it. And they'd come in and they'd hit that squeeze and it'd just pound it and it'd move. Just,
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Those things are powerful.
anyway, we gained a respect for buffalo, bison.
Those animals are huge, too. Like
Well, actually
like
they're...
beefy, like
Yeah,
big
they are.
or
They
whatever.
look really
Yeah.
huge because they have this great big head.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, there's not much there.
Like a carrot.
Like a carrot.
Now when I look at buffalo, I'm gonna just think of carrots.
But we were planning originally to go back to the ranch in Grassy Lake after, and I was going to work with the cattle, and so that was my interest. But then we got thinking about all those Tory boys. There were 5 Tory boys.
Because this is the time when Wayne and Judy we were alternating school. Remember we told you? So, yeah, but I had 5 brothers, no sisters, but 5 brothers, and so we're like, how are we going to support everybody on the ranch down there?
So the last year we went to school, we had decided to come back here to work in the dairy because we had a dairy. My dad had a dairy farm. So we decided to come back here, and if we would have stayed with it, we'd have been extremely wealthy right now. Your inheritance would probably be really big. But then we decided after 5-6 years of milking cows, I don't want to do that the rest of my life. You're up
Well,
at
and his
4.
dad wanted to retire, so you'd
Well, his health started getting bad.
Yeah.
Grandpa's health. He got bad farmer's lung and he couldn't do much anymore. So we sold him, and then that's when we went back to grad school.
But he just about signed the contract. We were going to build a big, what do you call it, freestyle barn and milk 120 cows, wasn't it?
And expand from there, yeah.
And they'd drawn up the papers and everything. And was it the night before you were going to sign?
You just didn't feel good about it.
Grandpa, you were just about sick. I remember that. It just wasn't right. So we didn't sign. And that's when he decided to go back to school and get his MBA. And he was going to be an animal science agrologist with the bank, with a bank or something. That's what you were trying for, right?
I don't remember what I was going to... I thought I'd go and I'd learn how to make millions with an MBA. But that isn't the case.
You wanted to be an agrologist because they hired you, and then it didn't turn out that you got the agrology position, and you were really upset. I remember that.
But I did do agrologist work. An agrologist is a...
Yeah, because they sent us out to
What's
Viking
an
with lots of
agrologist?
farmers.
Agrologist is, it's a professional designation, like a professional agrologist, like your dad would be a professional engineer
Right, okay.
and a professional architect or whatever they call them down there. And so you have to have an ag degree, and then you have to meet certain criteria to belong to
Pass
the association.
tests or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, you can get to put the PAG or the professional agrologist behind your name.
Interesting.
But I did some work with the bank, but then we were never satisfied where we were. So we came back here.
Wonder where I get that one from.
And then we went to that
I was like, what's the next thing?
That's right. we bought a business, the management training business.
And that was a bust. Oh, was that
That
terrible?
was the worst experience of our lives. That's when I had the
I love how you can say it like that. That's when I had the nervous breakdown.
Because by then Grandpa had quit and come down to work at the college because they offered him a job just as
Yeah,
we moved in.
Because our business, we could see that we were really not suited to it. It wasn't right. And I knew that before I even signed the papers
But this time you
to
didn't
do
listen.
it, and I didn't listen. I did it
See,
anyway.
you don't know what would have happened with the dairy thing. You know, you say like, oh, we could have been a millionaire, you know, we could have made so much money, but like you didn't feel good about it.
Right?
So right, like it could have been really bad. You don't know.
Yeah.
Someday in heaven they'll show you the TV of what would have happened.
It's like,
But like, see,
It's a
this is what would
Wonderful
have
Life,
happened,
you know?
and you did great. You didn't do that. Yeah.
But it was good. We had a great experience out in Viking with the Wainwright branch and met wonderful people that we would never have met if we had just stayed here.
you got
Had
experience
had a
being
lot
the
of good
branch
experience.
president and. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Oh, like this thing. So much. 3 gallons of milk. Well, almost.
Well, Natasha drinks a gallon and a half when she comes home.
I drink a gallon. Like
Milk
I'll open
drinker.
a gallon with like in the evening. The next evening, I'm opening another gallon. Like I don't know how. Even my buddy, like I'll bring my gallon of milk to my buddy's house, and he's like, "It's unhealthy with how much you drink milk." And I'm like, "Well, it's just good." And it's like you don't got any pop or anything at your house, and it's water.
Here, help yourself.
I stir it up a little bit.
Yes, good idea. Stir it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Mmm.
You also need a lamp right here.
Right.
Well, and then that light fixture, it started shorting out, and we need a new light fixture in there. So,
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't set the house on fire while you're here.
I'll make her some really great photos.
I'll take a 4x5 of it.
Oh my goodness, who was this singing? Like you know that
Oh, I do.
the cow kick.
Oh, that's it. I like
over.
this.
She winked her eyes. It'll be a hard
can use
time.
this one.
Good time
This one,
tonight.
that-
What song is that?
Which
I
one?
was singing that song to somebody. We always sing it at family stuff around the campfires or at family
When
reunion.
I was a little bit
No,
boy.
like the one with the cow kicked the light
Oh.
over
Cow
and
kicked
winked
it
her
over
eyes
and
and it'll be a hot
Yeah.
time.
Fire, fire, fire.
I was singing that to somebody, like,
was-
my buddy was sitting there just like, what? And I'm like, like, saying that at, like, around camps or nothing, and they're just like, no.
Mrs. O'Leary took
Yeah.
a lantern to the shed. Cow kicked it over.
There's, like, another verse in there, and then,
Yeah.
like, cow kicked it over, she went
What
down.
is that, Colleen? Mrs. O'Leary, how does that start? With the cow kicked it over, took a lantern to the shed.
She
the
went-
song?
The song, yeah.
Oh, late last night.
Oh,
when we
that's
got
how
in
it
bed.
starts.
Mrs. O'Leary took a lantern to the shed, and then the cow kicked
Yeah,
it
and
over.
when the cow kicked it over.
She winked her eye and said, "There'll be a hot time in the old town tonight." Fire, fire, fire!
Yeah.
The old campfire song.
Well, I can't decide
That has
which
a
is
cream?
better, the
Or
whipped cream or
both?
the cream.
Which
Not
to
a
I think
both.
you need both.
Oh, okay, good idea.
When in doubt, say yes to both.
Is this your spoon?
No. Double dipping. This is when you need some, like, fresh raspberries or something.
Raspberries and chocolate just are always a win together.
I actually quite like raspberries. Everybody's like, always like, oh, the strawberry jam. I like, oh, the raspberry jam.
Grandma doesn't like it that much because it's got too many seeds and they get stuck
Well-
in her teeth.
When you put raspberries, see, we've got all this raspberries, and we get tons of raspberries now because our bushes are mature now. But when I put them in smoothies, you always have these little seeds all the time, and I don't like that. So I almost got a Vitamix and paid, what do you pay for a Vitamix? $600? Because they were supposed to squish up the raspberry seeds, so so far I
Worth
haven't done
it?
it yet, but I told Liz that she's got a Vitamix, getting a
Spending
Vitamix.
a lot of money.
And these are great Grandma Smith's china.
Extra fancy. The best thing to put in for pudding.
Somehow we inherited the whole set of Grandma Smith's china. She didn't even make us pay for it either, dear.
I know.
when she moved out of her house, she was giving things that were, well, she wanted to get rid of some of these things, but she made us, we got that desk. Remember, did I send you a picture of that desk? Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the right frames to get for this because I want to change this
Mm.
a bit. I was always going to have you fix this picture because Dalen's not in it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't have an up-to-date picture of Dalen either. One of these days, when we have him up to dinner, get a good picture
Yeah.
of him and
Just let me
put
know.
him in next year's